Hello and good evening to all. We're here with our wonderful panel. We call it the Dream Team. No, it's not the Dream Team. It's the Dream Detectives. Actually, the Dream Detectives. And welcoming Valerie from Illumination Portal. We have Cartomancy Mesquite Angela here. We have oil painter Diana Bowles. We have wonderful Sarah from the Atlantic coast. And we have Kate, just Kate, uh, with us as well. All these ladies were in our dream class that we have had within the last about a month or so. And we're here today to talk about what we found out, what we've accomplished, and also to let you know that, we would love it if you are interested in doing something with dreaming and you want to come on the show and talk about dreams, that we'd love to hear from you. And, we would love to be your detective. At the same time, it's very, very important to mention that dreams are very personal. We are the ones that determine the most about what the dream is, although that, there are different symbols that show up, different ways you can do an analysis. And so, there is no right answer, or we're not the experts, let's say. We're just the ones that are working on helping you to discern what it is that you've seen. So, welcome, ladies. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
thank you. Kate, would you like to say anything?
I just wanted to add to that in discovering other paths of
Yeah.
communicating with spirit, that this is a path that's open to everyone, that
Mhm.
everyone has had throughout their whole lives, dreams they remember, dreams that reoccur, dreams that they, have a hard time figuring out, what on earth is that?
Right.
And so, in the exploration of looking at that and sharing those ideas and sharing the idea that spirit and guides and angels are communicating in that time span, in that place where we can go, we can ask questions, we can get answers, we can have a benevolent relationship to help us be okay when we're awake. So
Mhm.
there's many different activities happening in that dream space right now, and it's just incredibly fascinating to see and learn and hear about some of the amazing things that are happening in that dream consciousness, in that spirit realm. And I'm just super excited to be learning about it and sharing with you guys, and hopefully, just reminding everyone that dreams are a good thing. They're
Mhm.
not meant
Yeah.
to hurt us. They're
Mhm.
not meant to scare us. They're meant to support and uplift us in our day
Absolutely.
to day.
Absolutely. Along that line, there are a lot of people that say, "Oh, but I can't remember my dreams. I'm having a problem with that." So I'm going to let Valerie talk about that because she's one of those people. So,
Mhm.
Valerie, what is it that is going on with you when you're working with trying to get your dreams?
Well, I've been learning through you
Mhm.
ladies to ask my guides and spirit to let me remember a dream or show me something. And this has probably in the last couple of weeks about 5 or 6 times right before I wake up. I know my guides, my higher self is repeating something, and
Mhm.
I'll say, "Oh, I get it," because they've showed it over and over. And as soon as I wake up, it's gone. I have a pen, I have paper next to me, I have my phone, but it's just gone. So,
Yeah.
and there's a
It's
couple I've
frustrating
remembered.
for you.
Yeah, it is
Yeah, it's
frustrating.
frustrating. So, but I will tell you that since Valerie has been working with the dream, she has had some that she can remember, just little
Mhm.
pieces, but it's there for her. And also, in working with the group, she's been able to bring in a partner in her dreams. Diana is kind of like a partner who has showed up in her dreams as well
Mhm.
as Sarah's dreams as well.
Mhm.
So a lot of wonderful partnering going on,
Mhm.
with the consciousness that we're having. So I think that, you're growing and learning, but everybody needs to know that it can be frustrating if you're really wanting to get a message, you know.
Right. And I think I did this to myself because I used to be plagued with nightmares. And probably
Okay.
about 15 years ago when I started to wake up, they were just horrible. So I kept asking, please stop it. And they did. They did stop.
So everything stopped.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah. Sarah, I'd love you to talk about just whatever you'd like to say about your experiences or anything that comes to mind about dreaming.
I think there's different kinds of dreams. We can have daydreams, and they're valid dreams when we're awake. Or I think there's different meanings for lucid dreams, but I call it when we're half awake and half asleep. You can set intentions for your dreams before you go to bed. I find that they're the dreams the ones just before you wake up tend to be the ones that I remember. I also wonder if, because Diana and I we might say, let's meet in such and such a place, and we go there. I wonder if there's an element of astral traveling that can come as part of your dream. I know that Diana and I worked out this week that we can time travel in our dreams. We can go backwards or forwards or anywhere. We haven't tried to go out of the galaxy yet, but I'm sure we could do that too.
I'm sure you will eventually.
we tend to have very interesting, exciting dreams. A point I want to make with older people is sometimes they're on medications that make them sleep or interfere with them remembering their dreams. And that's why I think learning how to have an awake dream or a lucid dream is really exciting for them, because you can actually make it happen, right? Which Diana and I have done. So, if you're a really deep sleeper, because a lot of our dreams occur in our REM sleep, which is most of our sleep. If you're on medication, sometimes that can stop you from remembering them.
Sure.
So learning, having waking dreams, daydreams, or those dreams when you're half awake, half asleep, can be a good time, to set a dream intention.
Yeah. The most interesting thing, there's a couple, and I'm going to go to Diana and then Angela, because they have done this as well and set intentions. And Diana is a person who is an artist, so her dream journals are wonderful. She can remember so many things. It's just incredible. But she takes her art and brings it to her journaling. So I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what Angela's experience has been.
So, I can get a lot of dreams and wake up several times in the course of the night. And when I go back to bed, pick up where I left off. It's not always a pick up where I left off. Sometimes it is a new dream. However, when I wake up, one of the things that I do to remember is repeat the first thing that pops in my head before my feet hit the floor. And I don't want to turn on any lights because I'd rather walk in the dark, right? And So I repeat the first thing I remember. Then another something will pop into my mind. So I will repeat the first along with the second. And another thing, the first, the second, the third. And I repeat it in the order in which I remember, or they come to my memory, just like you do when you're learning the alphabet. So that it's always starting at the beginning, what I remembered first and working my way backwards, which is usually how it goes. If it is something that I know has another message coming through, then I'll go back to sleep and pick up where I left off and continue the story. And yes, I often in the morning, because I'm a visual learner, because I see everything in shapes. I don't even know how my mind works, quite honestly.
Right.
But those are the things that I remember, which triggers the word. So I start sketching what it was I saw, and then the words come to me. And I have dreams that I remember. I have a couple that I remember from my childhood.
Wow.
You know, and then in the past 10 years, when I understood more of what it was that was going on in the changes in my life, those dreams are vivid. They were more meditative than actual dreaming, so it would put it in that lucid phase. And those are canvas worthy photographs that are still in my head, you know. So and one of the things that I can suggest to helping memory is to repeat the first thing. If it's only one word, repeat it, and keep repeating it till something else comes in.
Right. Sometimes when you start thinking about what it is you were dreaming about from that first point, the other things start to fill in. Right. And they, you know, whenever somebody says, well, this doesn't make sense because I was talking to John and he turned into Tom, and then, you know,
or just remember the image. Remember the image.
Yeah.
And it's not about being a good sketch. It's just about putting something down.
Putting something down.
Right.
That's
because
the key.
from there,
absolutely.
And what are letters? What are letters? But actually, they're shapes to begin with.
They're just shapes and symbols. That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you. Angela had a very interesting situation working with Lilac Lantern and Andrea with her dream group, Andrea has another dream group, and love you to share it if you want to.
Oh, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I was obviously in a dream. I was traveling to Ukraine. I did the dream meetup in Ukraine, and I ended up in, I think it was Mariupol, and I was going through a bombed out building where you could walk in. It was the upper floors were bombed out, and there was a lot of debris on the floor. I was looking for victims and for survivors.
Sure.
And while I didn't find anybody, I was walking over all this rubble. And then when I woke up, I had a broken foot.
That just blows my mind.
Took me right back to a vacation I took in Costa Rica, where I ended up climbing through the rainforests for a day. And I had to climb out, but I had broken all the metatarsal bones in my feet. So it tied right into that.
This is the second time this has happened to you then in a dream, with the dream state. That's it's just amazing to me. Yeah. And I don't want to scare anybody off from having dreams, but it is interesting how our dream life and our real life are really tied together in a lot of ways. One of the things that I was listening to Dolores Cannon, if you're familiar with who she is, she was talking about time and how time is a construct that we have all made, that really everything is just the same, that, what is here is there. And she said the best way to think about it is if you're talking to somebody, like if you were in the United States and you were talking to Australia, what is there, 14 hours or something difference? You're talking to the future, you're in the past, but really there is no time. So, it's fascinating that that we have made that construct. And if we could lift that construct, then we would be able to realize that we always have everything available to us at all times.
Which
So,
also brings us to quantum and how time does not travel on a straight line.
right.
Humans make it a timeline. Time is an orb. Time is a circle. Time is a continuum. It's never.
And a state of mind too, isn't it? I would say for us. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
State of mind. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever felt like you were able to slow time down?
Yeah.
Because
Sometimes, yes. But for the most part, don't you think time is sped up? And I don't know if that's all, what's going on with the planet right now.
No, it really has.
Yeah.
In fact, that little blurb that we were listening to earlier said just that. The Earth is spinning faster, and it is. But that hasn't stopped me from being able to stop time when I needed to stop.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So our minds are obviously, they don't shut off at night because we're always processing. We just may not remember exactly why what we're processing. So Kate, tell us about dreams that might come that are very different, like what you had for dinner.
It's a great dream.
Uh-huh.
Green peanut M&M.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, have it inside
I've been
joke.
saving the green ones.
Yeah.
Good.
So typically there are different types of dreams. The spaghetti dream is one that is referred to as a spaghetti dream because it's influenced by what your body's chemistry is doing at the time that you're sleeping.
Right.
So at one point I was shot. I was taken to a hospital. They did surgery. Everybody started giggling and pulled out a green peanut M&M. That's what I had been shot with. So that's just a really
Right. Totally makes no sense. Right.
yeah. Totally ridiculous. A spiritual dream where you've gone in with the intention of wanting an answer to some question for something that is happening in your life at the moment, the intention of asking the question and then allowing spirit and guides and angels to answer that question the best that they can. Oftentimes they will speak in symbol. They will speak in symbol. They will speak in ways that, are ways that you can understand. It would be great if they could just do a billboard, can I have a billboard with those Hollywood lights and here's your answer, and the lottery numbers, right? But
That's it. Yes. Please send those. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And those are the ones that are the ones that are so personal that the individual symbols may only be recognized by the dreamer. So in us sharing our dreams, we share what intuitively is coming to mind from angels and spirit, or similar to that with using a tarot or a pendulum or any of those spiritual gifts to try and help interpret what perhaps is being expressed. What is the communication? Oftentimes, if the dreamer isn't listening or isn't getting it, and the issue still remains, the dream may get more and more intense.
Yes.
So, by Monday, you might be like, la di da di da. And by Friday, you're going, oh my gosh.
Yeah. We are resistant. We can be very resistant to
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, and there's just many different layers within the dreams, the lucid dreaming, the time travel, the, even moving around the planet, joining up like you're talking about. It's all in that spiritual plane. And so having some awareness around it is really the hope that information that's coming through is a good hope, is a good benevolent piece of information that will assist with whatever's going on.
Absolutely. So there's two other areas I want to bring up. One of them is lucid dreams, which I'll let Sarah talk a little bit about. But I want to talk first about precognition, or something similar to that. I had one when I was younger, right before my mom passed. I was on a funeral train, not a train, but a buggy and horse and everything with my brother and my father. And when I woke up, I thought one of them was going to die because they were sitting with me. But no, it was my mother, and my mother died within the day. So I call that a definite precognition dream. Recently, Diana had one. You didn't know about the drummer, right? Okay, and you had that dream about him, correct?
The saxophone player?
The saxophone player. Sorry. Yeah.
Carlos Ferris, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but the drummer in your brother's band is what I meant. Yeah.
He is the keyboard player in my brother's band.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That was in 2019.
Uh-huh.
And I knew something was going to happen. I had a dream about him. I knew that it entailed him. And my guides give me signals in my right ear, and it begins like sacristy bells, and then they start to ring more frantically as whatever's going to happen gets closer and closer and closer,
right?
And then it eventually just gets to a place where it is a steady high pitch, and the ringing stops, and that. Ping. So it wasn't the night before he died. It was a couple of nights before he died, and I knew it was going to be him. And then we had gone to a show that my brother and the rest of the band had been playing, and it was around Christmas time. His birthday is December 10th, and he died the day before his birthday on December 9th.
Yep. But you had that sort of you did. Yeah. You knew something was coming at the time. You didn't know what.
I knew something was coming.
Yeah.
And that whole thing started with my dream, although the bells come to me for lots of different things.
Yeah.
Like
so you know your symbols for what they are when they come to you.
And I know
so it's another form of divination. It's another form of divination when you think about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so those are, there's lots of reasons for us to be having these pressures and issues in our ears right now. Mm-hmm. But perhaps it is linked to something that you just dreamt about. And even though it's being affected by things in the atmosphere, doesn't mean that it doesn't have a link to what was in the dream, because where did the dream come from?
Correct.
How did the dream begin? From a higher realm?
Yeah. Fabulous. Wow.
Wait, and there's the visitation element too that I did.
Yes, mention. There is. Yeah.
So in 1979, I think I saw Marion Brown. Is her name Marion Brown? She's a psychic from the time that was on talk radio.
Oh, Sylvia Brown.
Sylvia Brown.
Yeah. Sylvia Brown. And one of the questions that was asked during a talk that she gave in San Francisco was about visitation dreams, about visiting with people that were already in that spirit realm. And I had just lost a friend who had been murdered. Oh. And so I was very curious to the instructions that she was giving about how to connect with them. And that was the first time that I'd had the visitation dream. And I have to tell you, I've had several since. They're the most healing.
They are.
Joyous, loving, wonderful, wonderful experiences ever. Yeah. It's better than any kind of other experience that I've even had.
I agree. I've had that with my dad comes a lot, and I don't want to wake up because I'm with my dad, So
exactly. It's like everything is perfect. You're in this beautiful place. Everyone is healed and loving and glowing. Just this incredible beauty that is surrounding them all. So visitation is when you recognize the person is someone that has already crossed. And that experience is, in my opinion, very real. That is the person. It's not a symbol. Right. It's the person that you know. It's the spirit that you know.
So it's not really a dream, it's a visitation.
Yeah.
Yeah, is what you're saying. Did
Yeah.
anybody else have one of those that I am not aware of? Had a visitation from anybody?
Not recently.
Well,
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Both my mother and my father
Oh,
came
okay.
at different times.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't even thinking about them. My
Mhm.
father came through, was sort of like a waking visitation, or I was meditating, I think.
Okay.
And I was thinking about other things. And all of a sudden it was like he walked through the veil. His whole body, everything.
Wow.
Exactly how he was.
Yeah.
Except a
Yeah.
bit of a younger version.
Sure.
And
Yep.
he spoke.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
so I spoke back to him. It was very short. And that
Yeah.
was that. With my mother, I had a dream of a staircase going up, supposedly going up to heaven, went through the clouds. So I decided, I think I want to go there. So I started going up this staircase.
Uh-huh.
And after a fair while, I met her on the staircase. And we talked. But that's where I learned. Someone else was talking the other day on their channel and said that we don't always get what we want from the other side, right? You know how a lot of people ask mediums to ask questions of people on the other side, wanting them to, ask for forgiveness, or why did you leave me out of the will, or whatever. And this was a case where my father said sorry for something, but when I met my mother, she said, I know you think I don't love you. And I waited for her to say more, and that was it. And I think I wanted her to tell me she was sorry, but she didn't.
Right.
And then when I heard this other speaker saying they come in forward to us how they were in life.
How they were. So
if they don't think they've done anything wrong, they're not going to tell you they're sorry, right? So that was my two visitations.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm glad thanks for sharing that. Angela, have you had that happen to you?
Not really. I've had some visitations, but mostly from old friends.
Oh,
Family,
cool.
no. But old friends, yes.
Yeah, that's all right too, though. I mean, it really is, and I love that they say that people that come through that visit, just like you said, Sarah, they're the age that they like the most, or something like that. It's like the prime of their life, like in their 30s or something like that. And a lot of people, like I didn't know my father when he was in his 30s, but I knew him when he was probably about 40 something, and so that's what I would see. But it's pretty cool.
But you recognize him.
I knew it was him. I knew it.
Yeah.
And I could smell his pipe, because he used to smoke a pipe, so I smelled that too. What about you, Diana? You've had other visitations?
Well, I have. One in particular was recent. Some of them are grandparents and great grandparents, and they've been in the past. I mean, it's not anything that's been recent, but recently I helped a soul cross over.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. And he was my first boyfriend from from high school, but he was killed in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been around me
for a long time.
All these years.
Wow.
And during the full moon that was on December 19th, there's that great big, huge, beautiful full moon in a mantle blue sky, and the sun was setting, and it couldn't have been any better. And I saw the whole thing play out as to how he died, and saw him cross over, knew he had been released. And then later that night, when I went to sleep, he came to me in a visitation, and he just laid in bed with me and just cuddled and said, "Thank you. I'm,
Oh,
the
look
things
at
that
that.
go
Love
along
that.
with,
Yeah.
it was just heartwarming and
Heartwarming.
right.
Yeah.
And now he can go do the things that he
He
needed to
wants
do.
to do. Right. Absolutely.
Right. I mean, he has an ascension waiting for him as well. And it really, I think that was a big part of why I came back to Michigan.
Sure.
Now, I've been in Virginia for 30 years, aside from the fact that my family was here, but that was one of my pieces of unfinished
One of the
business.
things that you needed to clear up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. And
Mhm.
sometimes we don't know that until something like that dramatic happens.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Valerie is lucky because she has rock stars come in her day.
Oh.
That's
crazy.
always-
Yeah, that was crazy. That was interesting. But I did want to stay on when I lucid dream. I get a lot of information from my guides, and I get a lot of just. I mean, it just flows. I don't know how to explain it. I think you ladies understand.
Mhm.
And I see people when they pass. When they pass, I see them always going up like a path or something, smiling and happy.
Wow.
But that's the only time I will see people from the other side, for the most part.
Right.
But yeah, the dream with Anthony Diaz of Red Hot Chili Peppers was just like we were friends though, and we were looking at these outdoor venues, all these beautiful spaces, like all around the world. We just kept going to them.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea why. It was fun. We had a
I
blast.
can tell you that, this is kind of a rock star life. We could, you like rocks.
Yes.
And,
There you go.
sometimes it cuts right down to that,
Right.
And so, yeah, you hanging out with a rock star because you are a rock star for a lot of reasons. But,
And Red Hot Chili Peppers too.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you know what?
She likes the spice, the
Yes.
spiciness. Yes.
He likes spicy.
So,
But I do think of visiting crystal mines a lot. Like I would love to do that. Like
Sure.
go around the world.
all
So
that energy.
That does resonate with going to different venues.
For plunking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's beautiful.
Pretty cool.
So one of the other things that I wanted to bring up, and Sarah was one of the people that this really, and I know if you're talking about it too, Valerie, that lucid dreaming or daydreaming or whatever. But Sarah, when she first started out in the dream class, she couldn't get a dream, I guess, and so she got up and went into the living room. Isn't that right, Sarah? And you had like a lucid dream show up. Has that always happened? For you?
I sat in my armchair and I started dozing.
Yes. Okay.
And that's when I had the dream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't set an intention for it. I just was there. So I think when you doze off in your chair, you
it's a different type of dream.
it's a different type of sleep, right?
True.
You can be awoken very easily.
Right.
Yeah,
you can be
not
startled.
like when you're in a deep sleep. And that's when I met Eagle and an owl, and they took me on this big adventure, and it was also a healing dream. It healed so many huge
issues,
sorrows in my life, right? We went
beautiful.
to every one of them.
Wow.
The big issues, the big things, right? Later on we did the little things, but the big things, and it was totally amazing because they actually showed me in parts of the dream things that I hadn't actually seen when I was physically in those things.
Right.
Too,
Kind of an out of body
It was pretty
experience.
amazing. I was
Yeah.
like looking at a movie and being privileged to parts that you didn't know.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So that was
like
that
being a
was
fly
pretty.
on the wall. Yeah. Yep.
I've also had, because why I mentioned before about lucid dreams, that's one way for people to do it if they don't remember their nighttime dreams. Also, I've had daydreams where one day I woke up and all I could remember was that one word, buttons was the word.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I said, to my guides and everybody, I said, I've got to have a dream for dream class. And all I remember is buttons. That's not very interesting. So
Yeah.
in they hopped. Back came the eagle. Back came the owl. Come on, we're going for a little ride.
Hop on. Yeah.
And that was, so I was, so that was an adventure.
Yeah. It's the same thing, I think, when you feel like you're flying in a dream. It's the most exhilarating feeling. And I can't make it happen though. For some reason, I can't make that happen. But when I have been flying, I just feel like amazing. It's like you're above everything and you can see the whole picture, I guess. And just the idea of skirting around like a bird, it's a wonderful.
You can use,
like you had with yours.
Yeah. You can use pictures to dream too. I do want to talk about that.
Okay.
Diana and I did this. I had a little dream where I was at this aquarium that had, you could see through the floor, the walls. It was like a tunnel, complete tunnel. So we went looking for pictures to see if we could find the aquarium on the web.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, she brought up, I said, no, it wasn't that. It was that. Well, we found the picture where I was. And
Amazing.
I think it was in Trinidad. No, I'm sorry, I'm getting that dream mixed up. It was in Diana, where was it?
We've been to
Again?
a lot of places together.
Yeah, anyway, we won't go to that one, but
You guys are going to need new passports.
we didn't need passports, did we, Diana? Anyway, I said to Diana, do you know how to stare into the view and it allows your focus to go off focus, right?
Right.
So you start seeing other things. Well, we both did this and we went flying. The next minute we were at the Northern Lights.
Oh my.
We had the most fantastic time. We were flying in and out of these lights. And then now, typically, they're blue and green and stuff. I said to Diana, what's your favorite color? She said red. I said, there isn't any red. So she took me around. She says, this, and there was the red. It was just so amazing. So, because we'd had some pretty intense dreams of places where we'd been together. So it was just so good that we went and did something fun.
Yes.
Right?
You know, we should have known all about this.
There.
Yeah, we should have
just
known about
flew
this
in
in the pandemic. We could have been busy doing all kinds of things.
So now I know that we can use a picture to go to a place, right? And set our intentions. If you want to do it with somebody else, you say, let's go to this and have a picture. That's what I did in another dream, right? Because I wanted to see more of the place before I went there. Yeah. And it's fun. It is so much fun.
Sounds like it. It
Oh,
does.
it must have been wonderful.
When we did that aquarium visit and then took off from there, I knew we were traveling, but I had no idea where we were. I didn't assimilate being at the Northern Lights till we were talking about it the next day, and I went, "Oh, that's where it was," because I could see all the colors, and
Yeah.
I had been squinting my eyes, and so of course I'm thinking I'm looking at the fish in the tank, the shark, the orca, and the leviathan whale coming by, and the
Sure.
stingrays. But it was definitely the Northern Lights.
Wow.
To do that, you have to stare.
Yeah.
So until your focus starts to see other things. And
Right.
that's when we
Like
went.
looking, they do that to look at auras. Actually, it's
Right.
It's like crossing your eyes. It
Yeah.
is,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's like you can see the outline of the aura against somebody on a white wall or something. So that's very
and it's an artist trick also,
okay.
and
All right.
that's how Monet saw it.
Oh, for heaven's
He needed glasses. He was so nearsighted. He didn't
Okay.
know he needed glasses. So all of his paintings look like they do because he was painting through eyes that needed correction.
Oh,
But
and
look
his
how
paintings.
Wow.
Oh, I love
Yes.
his paintings.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. Thank you for telling us about that. Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. Wow. Oh, there's so many things. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We can also ask for a dream. Of course, we talked about intentions, but we can also ask in dreams to solve issues that we might have, problems that we might have. In my case, I thought I had a boyfriend in high school, and I went out with him for 5 years, and we broke up, and I got married to the first husband, and that was dumb. But anyway, you know that boyfriend showed up in my dreams for over 40 years.
Oh.
And it wasn't until I met my fourth husband that though he never came back in my dreams again. And it was almost as though it was saying, nobody compares to this guy. Nobody compares to this guy. But I wasn't getting that message. And then I realized that I had worked that all out over time, except we think we have worked it out, but our dreams tell us if we've worked it out or not. That's really, if you really can follow through and get that, it really will tell you what might be bubbling up underneath. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So let's tie it up. I want all of you to say whatever else you'd like to say. Let's start with you, Kate.
Well, I just really appreciate that everybody was here to share everything, because I think there is this whole other world that we really are connected to. It really is a beautiful resource for us, and that we don't have to be alone in what we're doing and in the journey that we're on. And that it's so important to be able to share that and feel that support and that acceptance and validation that no, we're not crazy.
Yeah.
And that this is really important spiritual work. That and everybody's at a different speed, a different place, and I think it's
that's okay.
Beautiful. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's totally okay.
Totally okay.
And I'm just so grateful, Allie, for you putting this together for us to be able to come.
Oh, I'm pleased that you've all been teaching me a lot of stuff, really, honestly. Yeah. So thank you, Kate. Valerie, any last words?
I love that we teach each other, and we go into all these different topics in the magical, mystical world, and figure out our gifts and ourselves. So I'm going to keep trying to dream, and I love listening to everybody else's dreams. I mean, between all of you, you got such fascinating dreams. I did want to ask about Angela breaking her foot twice in 2 different dreams.
Yeah, I know.
Now, does that...
It wasn't 2 different dreams. The one in Costa Rica, I was on vacation in Costa Rica and broke both.
In reality. Okay.
Yes, in reality. But there have been other times where things like that have happened, little dreams, short ones. These were more profound. The Ukraine one was more profound, but I also walk in my sleep, and I think I may have been walking when I had that dream.
Okay.
Whoa.
Because I wanted to see if the foot being injured meant something in the dream world. Kind of like...
Is it your right foot?
It came to, yes, it's my right foot. And a friend pointed out, well, now you don't have 2 legs to stand on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
it
put
goes
your
into
best
my
foot.
toxic independence. I'm toxically independent. I do everything myself.
Yep. So putting your best foot forward, and the right would be the physical side.
Uh-huh.
And so it's easier probably for you to navigate the spiritual side. It's the physical side. And if you're doing it all by yourself, if, like you say, independent, then yeah. It
Yes.
makes sense. It really makes sense.
Mhm.
We hope that doesn't happen to anybody else though.
No,
You know,
no.
or you again. Yeah.
But do we
yeah.
think Spirit is trying to say you need to slow down and let people help you? I mean, would
Yes,
you
that's
interpret
exactly
it?
what it was.
Okay.
But to depend on other people because, I'm just so independent that I don't rely on anybody.
Yeah.
And that's really not a good way to be. It should be a give and take between people instead of just one person
Absolutely.
on their own.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's true. That's why it was just fascinating. to
No,
know.
it is. I just got that song "Feeling Groovy." You know, slow down.
Yes, that's what I've been doing.
But look, and here we are supporting each other and helping each other.
We
I
are.
mean,
Exactly.
we're not physically helping you, but we are
Spiritually,
together helping each other.
absolutely.
Yes.
So that's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
Another thing I like is that we've built quite a toolbox for remembering our dreams. We have
Yes.
little tips and tricks and how do you work your way into it if you've never remembered a dream? How do you get there?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is
I
working
think
a
we
little bit.
learn.
Go ahead.
I think we learn things in our dreams too,
Mhm.
because I was taught by my guides when I went to Ukraine how to cross people over, and I'd never done that before. So they kept
Amazing.
with me, talking to me, telling me what to do, right?
Yeah.
So we very much are learning stuff sometimes in our dreams, being
Absolutely.
taught new things.
When the student's ready, the teacher appears. And that can be your dreams. It can be anything. As long as you're open to receiving the message, you've got that opportunity at hand for you. That's beautiful. It's really wonderful.
Really is.
Yeah.
And I guess we're always learning. In
We are.
every moment. In every moment's a teachable moment.
They
right?
say when you stop learning, then you're dead.
Yeah.
So, honestly. Yeah.
We probably learn over there too.
Maybe too. Yeah. Some different stuff, right? Some different stuff. Diana, any last words?
Well, it just recapping Angela's dream made me remember some things that do happen to me, and probably all of us. You wake up with an unexplained bruise, an unexplained scratch, etc., right?
Yeah.
And I recall a dream that I had of my grandmother, Martha, being with me. And she was always, don't look down, don't look over the railing, you're going to fall, right? So now I'm an adult in this dream with her, and she's telling me the same thing. Don't look over the railing. Well, I started to have this feeling of falling over the railing. And somebody grabbed my arm and I woke up, right? End of dream. When I got up in the daylight, on my arm were scratches that said Martha.
Oh my gosh.
Were they perfectly shaped? No. Were they Martha? Yes. And somewhere in my cell phone pictures, I have a photo of that on my arm. And it's not the only time. And so in that recap, Angela, when you wake up with unexplained scratches like that, it didn't come from the cat playing with your toes under the cushion, under the blankets.
Right.
It may have been something else entirely that relates back to your dream.
To your dream.
Yeah.
Also, you don't have disabilities in your dreams.
No.
Oh, isn't that great?
And walk and fly.
You have been
That's
walking
awesome.
in every single dream where we've been together. You are up and on.
You're up and
feet,
walking.
girl.
I know. And that's what many people say when they talk to the other side. if somebody had a disability, you know, that they're free, or an animal that was
Mhm.
sick, you know, is now running in the grass. And it's so nice to know that that's gone when you get over there.
Yeah.
Your soul is free.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so beautiful to realize that we're not meant to be alone, and that the universe and our guides and angels and ancestors send so much love, that
Yeah.
this love is between us, is between them, you know,
Yeah.
and then it goes through the air and through the different elements that exist, and that there's so much more to learn and experience, and it's just such a beautiful thing to be
It
connected
really is.
with
Yeah.
folks that are willing to go on that journey with us.
On the journey.
So it's totally exciting.
It really is. And to be somebody that just facilitated a dream meetup group, and to see the growth that I have seen, even in Valerie, because she doesn't dream as much, but she got something. You know,
Yeah.
the fact that we got something is more than you had before. But just the growth in all of you and the stories that you tell and the sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And you all have fabulous dreams. I'm just like, I'm like, I love listening to it. It's like better than watching or hearing a movie or something, you know? It's like, what?
I know. I always look forward to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always look forward to it because it's so detailed.
So
I know.
much fun. I want to go to Northern Lights. So next time you guys better knock on
Oh,
Okay, we're
We're
getting.
going.
we
Well, we could plan one right now if you want.
we were flying through all the lights. It was great, wasn't it, Diana?
Oh my
It
gosh.
sure
How
was.
beautiful.
It sure was.
Let's do
Yeah.
it, ladies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well-
I want to remind everybody to let us know if you want any more information about how to remember your dreams. We can talk about that. I would love it if people come on and want to talk about it, remembering that whatever we say isn't necessarily the answer. The answer comes from you, but sometimes we can tap into some of those symbols and some of those things and provide a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of help along the way. But you are the ultimate decider of what this dream means to you. And we both realize, or we all realize, that it's very personal. Sometimes dreams are very, very personal, and sharing them, you know, is a journey. So thank you, ladies. I appreciate you all so much. I had so much fun, and
Yes.
peace and love to all of you. Bye-bye, everybody. You have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.